camel meat is mainly eaten in certain regions, including Eritrea, Somalia, Djibouti, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Syria, Libya, Sudan, Ethiopia, Kazakhstan, and other arid regions where alternative forms of protein may be limited or where camel meat has had a long cultural history. 1839, 125, camel blood is also consumable. As is the case among pastoralists in northern Kenya, where camel blood is drunk with milk and acts as a key source of iron, vitamin D, salts and minerals. 18, 125, 135. A 2005 report issued jointly by the Saudi Ministry of Health and the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention details 4 cases of human bubonic plague resulting from the ingestion of raw camel liver. 136. Australia. Camel meat is also occasionally found in Australian cuisine. For example, a camel lasagna is available in Alice Springs. 134, 135. Australia has exported camel meat, primarily to the Middle East but also to Europe and the US, for many years. 137. The meat is very popular among East African Australians, such as Somalis, and other Australians have also been buying it. The feral nature of the animals means they produce a different type of meat to farmed camels in other parts of the world. 138, and it is sought after because it is disease-free, and a unique genetic group. Demand is outstripping supply, and governments are being urged not to cull the camels, but redirect the cost of the cull into developing the market. Australia has even camel dairies, which produce milk, cheese and skincare products in addition to meat. 139. Religion. Islam. Muslims consider camel meat halal, Arabic, allowed. However, according to some Islamic schools of thought, a state of impurity is brought on by the consumption of it. Consequently, these schools hold that Muslims must perform wudu, ablution, before the next time they pray after eating camel meat. 140. Also some Islamic schools of thought consider it haram, Arabic, forbidden, for a Muslim to perform salat in places where camels lie, as it is said to be a dwelling place of the shaitan, Arabic, devil. 140. According to Abu Yusuf, D.798, the urine of camel may be used for medical treatment if necessary, but according to Amfa, the drinking of camel urine is discouraged. 141. The Islamic texts contain several stories featuring camels. In the story of the people of Tamud, the Prophet Salih miraculously brings forth an akat, Arabic, milch camel, out of the rock. After the Prophet Muhammad migrated from Mecca to Medina, he allowed his she-camel to roam there. The location where each camel stopped to rest determined the location where he would build his house in Medina. 142. Judaism. According to Jewish tradition, camel meat and milk are not kosher. 143. Camels possess only one of the 2 kosher criteria. Although they chew their cud, they do not possess cloven hooves. But these you shall not eat among those that bring up the cud and those that have a cloven hoof. The camel, because it brings up its cud, but does not have a completely cloven hoof, it is unclean for you. 144. Cultural depictions. What may be the oldest carvings of camels were discovered in 2018 in Saudi Arabia. They were analyzed by researchers from several scientific disciplines and, in 2021, were estimated to be 7,000 to 8,000 years old. 145. The dating of rock art is made difficult by the lack of organic material in the carvings that may be tested, so the researchers attempting to date them tested animal bones found associated with the carvings assessed erosion patterns, and analyzed tool marks in order to determine a correct date for the creation of the sculptures. This Neolithic dating would make the carvings significantly older than Stonehenge, 5,000 years old, and the Egyptian pyramids at Giza, 4,500 years old, and it predates estimates for the domestication of camels. Shada, cover detail, Karabakh region, Southwest Caucasus, early 19th century. Shada, cover detail, Karabakh region, Southwest Caucasus, early 19th century. Vessel in the form of a recumbent camel with jugs, 250 BC 224 AD, Brooklyn Museum. Vessel in the form of recumbent camel with jugs 250 BC 224 AD, Brooklyn Museum. Maru Rajani, Tola and Maru riding on a camel, c. 1750, Brooklyn Museum. Maru Rajani, Tola and Maru riding on a camel, c. 1750, Brooklyn Museum. The Magi journeying, Les Royce Mags En Voyage, James Tissot, c. 1886, Brooklyn Museum. The Magi journeying, Les Royce Mags En Voyage, James Tissot, c. 1886, Brooklyn Museum. How the Camel Got His Hump, from Rudyard Kipling's Just So Stories. How the Camel Got His Hump, from Rudyard Kipling's Just So Stories. Distribution and numbers. There are approximately 14 million camels alive as of 2010, with 90% being dromedaries. 146 dromedaries alive today are domesticated animals, mostly living in the Horn of Africa, the Sahel, Maghreb, Middle East and South Asia. The Horn region alone has the largest concentration of camels in Thule, 22, where the dromedaries constitute an important part of local nomadic life. They provide nomadic people in Somalia, 18, and Ethiopia with milk, food, and transportation. 116, 147, 148, 149. A view into a canyon, many camels gathering around a watering hole. Camels in the Ghouta d'Archi, in northeastern Chad world map with large camel populations marked. Commercial camel market head count in 2003. Over 1 million dromedary camels are estimated to be feral in Australia, descended from those introduced as a method of transport in the 19th and early 20th centuries. 150. This population is growing about 8% per year. Winking sad smiley. 151. It was estimated at around 700,000 in 2008. 135, 146, 152. Representatives of the Australian government have culled more than 100,000 of the animals, in part because the camels use too much of the limited resources needed by sheep farmers. 153. A small population of introduced camels, dromedaries and Bactrians, wandered through southwestern United States after having been imported in the 19th century as part of the U.S. Camel Corps experiment. When the project ended, they were used as draft animals in mines and escaped or were released. 25 U.S. camels were bought and exported to Canada during the Caribou Gold Rush. 94. The Bactrian camel is, as of 2010, reduced to an estimated 1.4 million animals, most of which are domesticated. 42, 146, 154. The wild Bactrian camel is a separate species and is the only truly wild, as opposed to feral, camel in the world. The wild camels are critically endangered and number approximately 1,400, inhabiting the Gobi and Taklamakan deserts in China and Mongolia. 12, 155. See also. Icon. Animals. Portal Afghan cameleers in Australia. Australian feral camel. Camel howdah. camel milk, camel racing, camel train, caravan, camel urine, camel wrestling, camelops, camelus morley, dromedary, list of animals with humps, zero coal, citations.
Good. That was the camel. And I was sleepy. I was close to fall asleep. So we had the news in Danish television. I will go watch the news. And I should make a video later in Danish about camel spots. I'll stop the video.